Hello and welcome to my channel. I hope you're having a great new year so far. Today I'm bringing you a video all about my experience creating my first Skillshare class. This may be helpful if you are also considering creating your own Skillshare class as well. This won't be like a detailed guide, but I will give some quick tips, things I wish I had known, that kind of thing, so you can learn from my mistakes. Okay, so number one is I recommend having a Skillshare account before you actually start your class because you want to make sure and watch videos that are similar to your niche. So whatever you're thinking about making a video on, make sure to watch like the top, most successful videos in that category and see what they're doing. See what their thumbnails look like, their titles, their class layout, all that kind of thing, and just get some ideas, inspiration, and learn from the best. Number two is talk to your audience and don't talk as much about yourself. I definitely wish I'd done a lot more of this in my class. I talked a little bit too much about myself and no one really wants to hear that if they don't know you that well. So make sure to tell your audience how you're gonna help them, what your class is about and how it's gonna serve them and what they're gonna get out of it. And you can tell a little bit about yourself and your story, but keep it brief and really just talk to your audience and let them know that they are seen and you are here to help them. Number three is get to the point. Don't go on long rants or ramblings or get off track. Like, make sure you get to the point and say what you need to say in as few words as possible. People's attention span these days is very short. With TikTok and things, like, people really don't want to hear you just like rant if they don't know who you are. So get to the point, make it punchy, fun, simple, quick, and leave out all the boring details because a lot of that stuff they don't really need anyway. They can go Google it or figure it out. Like, just keep it simple and just say what you need to say, and that's it. Number four is take really organized notes and document everything while you're creating your class. This is to ensure that if you create another class, you can simply copy all of those, camera settings and Final Cut Pro editing settings and all of that kind of thing. So when I was creating my class, I documented my camera settings, my editing settings, where I placed like my lights in my house and, just how I did everything. And I think just having it all written out and documented, it's just going to make your life so much easier as you progress and make more classes and things like that. Number five is keep things PG/family friendly. I already knew this going into, creating my class, and I knew that my class was very PG. It was just an art class. So I didn't have to worry about that. But if you're someone who, is thinking of creating a class on maybe a controversial topic or something, just consider that, it could be banned on Skillshare, and make sure you don't try not to like cuss or anything. Like, just keep it as PG as possible so that you don't get banned and you make sure that you, stay on the platform and get your followers, get your money, like get all that stuff that you need, and you don't just get pushed off the platform. So, and that's why we have YouTube. Like, if you want to talk about something controversial, go on YouTube. There's no one stopping you here. So number six is film in 4K. Now, I'm sure some of you are already doing this if you have a camera and know a little bit about film, but for me, I was pretty new to my camera and still learning about all the settings, and I didn't really know exactly how to film in 4K that well, but I learned exactly how to do it for my class, and I actually redid a lot of my class because I filmed it all in 1080p, and then I just didn't really like how it looked, and I learned how to do everything in 4K and re-shot all of it, and it looks so much better. So if you don't know how to use 4K, I suggest learning it before you start. It's really easy, just a couple settings, and yeah, highly recommend. It'll look so much better. Number seven is I wish I had done a shorter class. So for my class, I did like a long painting. Like, I did one long painting and it took, it was like an hour course, which isn't that long, but with people's short attention span, I almost wish I had done like small studies, as the class instead, like small mini paintings with like different photos, like 5 or 10 minutes little exercises. I just think that would have been more interesting, and I'm worried that people just won't be interested at all to watch like an hour-long painting, but you know, if they're really interested in the topic, I think they will. But I would say for like your first class, before you have an audience, like it might be good to consider doing a shorter, you know, class, like with little exercises, and just keep things really fast and like interesting. Number 8 is plan for a lot of extra time. So however long you think your class is gonna take, times that by like 5 or 10. So if you think it's gonna take you a month, it took me 3 months, and that was like working on it every day. You know, some days I missed, you know, but I was working on it a lot, and I had to like redo things, and then editing took forever. So plan for a lot more time than you actually think. I mean, if you don't have a job, like a day job, and you can work on it all day, you can definitely do it in a couple weeks or a month. But if you have other obligations, you know, give yourself a couple months for your first class at least. Number 9 is definitely have an external hard drive, as high, you know, terabyte as possible, because if you're filming in 4K, for example, you're going to need to store a lot of files, and probably half of them you won't use. So you're gonna be testing and retesting and redoing a lot. So just make sure you have a really good external hard drive with a lot of space. Number 10, this is kind of a niche, you know, tip. Like I don't think a lot of people will need it, but if you are an artist and you sell your paintings, or you know, you sell any kind of like artwork that you're using for your class, make sure that you finish your class before you sell the artwork. So I actually made this mistake. I did my class and I was creating a painting for my class, and someone wanted to buy it before I was finished editing my class. And I didn't have my thumbnail ready. Like I needed that painting for my thumbnail for some more editing, like shots and stuff. And I just had to like rush to like get as many shots as I could, and then I sold the painting. And I was fine, like I got my class done, but I do wish I'd had that painting for a few more like shots and redos of the thumbnail. So definitely make sure you're fully done with your class before you like sell any of the artwork, or you know, get rid of any of your materials. Number 11 is write out all of your scripts before you start filming. This was super helpful for me. I had multiple Google Docs with my intro script, my materials script, my project announcement script, my outro, and then the lessons in between. All of those scripts I had, you know, rough draft, all of them ready before I started filming, and that was so helpful. I just was able to read off of those and film a lot faster. And number 12, last but not least, is perfectionism is the highest form of procrastination. So finish your dang class. I really took forever to finish my class, like I said, about 3 months, and you know, there was holidays and things going on, and I was working like every day on it, but I probably could have finished it a little bit sooner. And that's where keeping your class short and simple comes into play as well, because mine was a longer class, so it took longer to edit. But yeah, just finish your class. It does not need to be perfect. Perfectionism is not something you want to strive for. You want to strive for done and finish, so that you can move on, learn, move on, learn, move on, because you gain so much from actually finishing things. And if you don't finish things, then your brain starts to think that, you know, you're not trustworthy and you're not going to finish what you start. So I always say done is better than perfect, and keep that in mind. So I'm actually going to put in a preview of my class if you're interested in checking it out. You know, I'll have a link also for a free month if you're interested. But if you are an artist and you want to check out my video or my class, that's totally fine. If not, of course, no problem. In this class, we will be painting flowers in a loose impressionistic style that really lends itself to creating patterns that come to life. I'll teach you the practical tips and knowledge that I've learned along the way that will demystify oil painting and really simplify the process so you can feel confident the entire way through. I'll tell you about my 4-step process that you can apply to any painting. And I'll talk about how I approach color mixing, brush strokes, and painting loose so that you create movement in your art. We'll go over the basic materials that you need that won't cost a fortune. I'll even show you why you really don't need to focus on colors as much as you may think, and how focusing on simple values will produce the best results and even prevent a few headaches. In this lesson, we will be creating our unique palette of colors to use for this painting. Some colors you can't actually mix, like there's some colors in a tube that are so radiant and vibrant that you can't really mix to get that shade. It's kind of like a more lab-made color. And I'm just grabbing some of my bright orange hue with some lemon yellow, and I'm going to add that color to all of the petals basically. It's kind of like a shadow, I guess, on the photo. Next, we'll mix cadmium red light, phthalo blue, permanent green light, and titanium white. The textures, colors, and patterns found in the natural world really create endless opportunities for art. Okay, so those are my thoughts. I had so much fun making my Skillshare class, and although I look back and there's a zillion things I want to change, I really just learned so much in the process, and I'm glad to say I have a class online now that I can make money from. But yeah, I wish you the best of luck making your class. I know you're gonna do incredible, and I can't wait to see what you create as well. So thank you for watching and have a great day. Bye.